Welcome back to UFC Ninja. Here's a peek at last week's betting results to get you ready for the Ninja's breakdown on the next card.
Hell yeah, guys. Welcome back. It's the Ninja. We're going to do a quick bet recap. We didn't do a podcast last week for the Thompson-Holland card, but before that, for the Spivak-Lewis card that never happened, my producer will throw up the bets there for you. We did pretty good, I know that. We only missed like one or two bets on that whole card. Even his crazy bets, his parlay worked out. But last week we also had a bet on Anders and then the underdog, and then we had a hedge that with Daukaus by sub, which is like plus 400. Anders came out on top, which I thought would happen. Accidentally sent that backwards to my producer, but we came out on top with the damage versus JSP going the distance. So we made that money back plus some last week just for fun, even though we didn't do a breakdown last week. But let's get into this new card, guys. We got UFC 282 ahead of us. Let's get it. All right, this one we got Cameron, MSP, Saaiman versus Steven, Obi-Wan Shinobi, the Pillow, Koslow. Cameron's a minus 285. Koslow's a plus 225. So looking at their records and stuff, and we watching tape on Cameron and this Koslow dude. Cameron's been on the Contender Series and did pretty good. Probably well known for his slaps to the ribs that he was doing, and you could see his one coach like shaking his head like, yes, I think he was telling him slap him. It was pretty funny, but must be some sort of technique that airs out the lung from the backside. There's no armor between the skin of the body there, so it must be a technique. But Koslow's been just submitting everybody, and he pretty much shows only a ground game, and Cameron's supposed to be well-rounded. Obviously, he's hard inside hooks and can smash with them. So I'd say if you're going to bet this, we do Saaiman like money line to win either by decision or just by being able to smash him, because maybe this Steven Koslow dude can survive on the ground with his ground game if he's been able to submit everybody that he's fought. So we'll do Saaiman money line and hedge that with this Koslow by submission. I'm not sure what the odds are going to be on that yet, but they got to be pretty damn good, so we should be able to hedge that just fine. But other than that, I don't have much else to say about this. Like watching tape, it's hard to say who will do what, but you either see Koslow, his stand-up isn't very good, so you either see him getting a submission, not winning by a decision, or Cameron getting submitted or winning by a knockout or by decision, because Cameron's pretty active in there, but when he did get taken down in the Contender Series, he kind of chilled out there and did the slaps. But so we'll see if he gets too relaxed, this Koslow kid could submit him, and if he's not relaxed, he'll get up and smack the Steven dude around and win the fight. So that's my breakdown on this one, boys. All right, next up we got Daniel Instant Noodles de Silva versus Vinicius, the amazing Salvador. Good fight here. There's going to be some action here in the first round and a half for sure. We got De Silva at a plus 159, and Salvador's at a minus 200. So for betting on this one, we see that De Silva usually lasts around round and a half, puts all his energy into getting a finish, and goes out there to try to beat the guy up. If he doesn't get that, he's done. He's exhausted, and he can't regain his composure during the fight. So for the next, 10 minutes, the other guy's going to win, so that's going to be Salvador money line. So you bet De Silva with under 1.5 or under. And with Salvador, he has like a hands-down style, so De Silva could clip him with something in the first round and a half, a spinning kick or just some punches. But other than that, Salvador looks pretty good, just all around, and has the cardio to go 3 rounds, which he showed in the contenders there. So with that in mind, we should come out on top by hedging that fight. And if you got any other bets on this one, good luck. But that's about all I got to say about this one, boys. All right, guys. Next up, they got Erik King Silva versus TJ Downtown Brown. Interesting fight. Silva's newcomer here. TJ Brown's been around for a little bit. Get the odds on this. Erik Silva's at a minus 115. And TJ Brown's at a minus 105. Interesting that Silva's more of a favorite just coming in here. But Silva, he's just got submissions on his record. You know that's what he's going to come in and try to do. He's going to try to take him down and submit TJ. TJ has been submitted a couple different ways in his career. He's like a wrestler and likes to strike as well. A little bit hittable. So I think with this fight, what we're going to see is Silva just try to get the submission on TJ. Don't know how much top control he's going to have to be able to get the decision win himself. TJ's pretty experienced and pretty good wrestler. Pretty aggressive too, so it'd be interesting to see if he would just accept that or if Silva is skilled enough to do that. But the only bets that I can see for obvious reasons is Silva by submission, maybe TJ by money line, just to say what I think. But that's my only opinion on this fight, guys. I'm not interested in any bets or hedges, so good luck to you if you are. And that's all I got in this one, boys. Okay, here we go, guys. We're getting into some emotions now. Slightly emotionally invested in this next fight. We got Billy, badass Quarantillo versus Alexander, the Great Ape Hernandez. Used to be the Great. Yeah, so Hernandez, the Great, has let me down in the past. He totally failed on the DraftKings lineup I had going and got himself fucking destroyed and finished. Don't even remember what fight that was or how many years ago it was. It's kind of a haze now that he's let me down. So Billy Badass Quarantillo, you know, we needs to get a nickname since Hernandez keeps changing his and he's a bitch. Billy Q's gonna control this fight and just be a badass throughout it. You know, Hernandez might look good for the first round, and then Billy Q's gonna put it on him and just cook Hernandez for 2 rounds, I think. It's really hard for me to say. I'm not making any bets on this one just because I hate Hernandez. Hate's a strong word for him to get finished in the cage, but, you know, we'll take it all lightly here, you know. But so totally against Hernandez, and I hope Billy Q smashes his face. But not sure how to bet this if you were, but I think that this fight might go to a decision, and I'm going to put this one as my producer's favorite bet of the week when we do our betting at the end as our draw of the week. So maybe he'll get that. We almost hit that draw like 2 weeks ago. There was a split decision. So we're going to hit that for sure. We're gonna cash that one day. But anyways, that's all I got to say about this fight, guys. Good luck if you're thinking anything different. Next up, we got Chris, the Action Man, Curtis, versus Joaquin, King, Buckley. Interesting fight here. Looks like a stand-up battle for the pay-per-view card for us. Curtis, boxer. Buckley, strong man. Likes to swing and kick. So, I don't know what to say about this one, guys. I'm not invested in this one for any bets, personally, here. You know, you could either say the fight ends in TKO or the fight goes the distance. One of the two. Dog barking at something out there, but I don't really know what to say about it. You know, it'd be interesting to see if Curtis is going to be able to control the range and avoid all of Buckley's attacks and just keep the pressure on him and touch him up, or if Buckley's going to be able to land something and hurt Curtis and put the Action Man down. So, you know, I'll respect the Action Man. It's a decent nickname. You know, I've been known to raise a couple of flags, lower it, raise it, and shoot it down. So, respect to him there. But Curtis has wrecked me in the past. Broke one of my DraftKings lineups, but Rottweiler whining about something over there. But, yeah, that's all I got on this one, guys. If you got any other bets or thoughts, good luck to you on this one. All right, guys, we got a nice fight on our hands here. We got Edmen, the Golden Boy, Shahbazyan, versus Dalcha, champion, Lungiambula. So let's get to the odds here first before I say anything. Shahbazyan's at a minus 325, holy shit. And Dalcha is at a plus 245. Dang, okay. Wow, well, what I see in this one is, you know, after watching tape on these guys, you guys probably know both these guys too. We know them pretty well. Edmen seems to only have the cardio for the first round and a half. You know, the way he uses his energy and the way he moves his feet. He did get beat up a couple of times here against a couple of grapplers, Brunson for sure. And he put up some good fights and just ended up being on his back and not being able to get up, at the end of it. Got caught in some weird situations. He almost got Brunson off of him, but he rolled into the cage. And there's going to be a cage somewhere, a wall somewhere. So, he lost those fair and square, but his cardio does leave him hanging after like the first round and a half. But he moves his feet so much, and with his style, it takes energy, and he likes to use fakes and feints. And against Dalcha, I think those fakes and feints could draw out, make Dalcha react to them. And Dalcha runs that high guard style, just like when Edmen fought Brad Tavares. Tavares has that high guard style like that, and Dalcha uses that all the time, and he gets reactive after feints and feints. So I think Edmen will be able to get him to react and start reading what Dalcha's doing and be able to finish him in like the first round, the second half of the first round, or the early part in the second round after talking to his coaches or something. Clip him real quick. But Dalcha has the same chance, I think, and if it goes over a round and a half, I think Dalcha might be able to beat Edmen just by forward pressure and exhaust him. And we've seen Dalcha being able to get takedowns. He's strong, so that could be his path to victory as well. Edmen has good defense in the beginning, and like I said, that's good striking against guys like Dalcha that have that high guard. So, man, I can't believe them odds. So the way to bet this for me, in my opinion, would be to bet Shahbazyan by TKO. You could either just bet it straight TKO or under 1.5. And hedge that with the Dalcha champion money line at plus 245. That's crazy, because he could either win by decision or get his own knockout, or potential finish somehow. So that would be my opinion on that, guys, and I'm pretty confident in that breakdown. Just my opinion, but we'll be probably putting that bet down at the end of the podcast. We'll see here. So that's all I got to say on this one, boys, and it'll be a cool fight in my opinion. Okay, guys, next up here, I'm not sure where we even are in this card, but anyway, we got Jairzinho, Biggie Boy, Rozenstruik versus Chris Daukaus. So let's get the odds here quick before we touch this fight. Jairzinho is at a minus 175, and Daukaus is at a plus 144. Interesting. Okay. I think those are pretty fair odds, actually, when we look at what's happened recently. Daukaus has been knocked out recently by Blades and Lewis, and then on the other hand, Biggie Boy has been also knocked out, I guess, by Volkov. And it was a questionable deal there, but he got hit pretty hard, and then Blades also got the unanimous over him. But Rozenstruik, the first thing I thought of when he's gonna fight Daukaus here, I'm like thinking about who Rozenstruik has fought that's like Daukaus, and when you think about it, he fought Augusto Sakai, and then he also fought what's his name from Russia, Volkov. So you think, who is Daukaus? Is he Volkov, who could beat Rozenstruik potentially, or is he Sakai, who Rozenstruik's gonna knock out? And when I got done watching tape, I was leaning towards Daukaus being Augusto Sakai kind of guy who leaves his chin there in the area where Rozenstruik's fists come flying through. So it kind of gave me the feeling that Daukaus is more of a Sakai, and he's going to get knocked out by Rozenstruik eventually. And it could happen earlier than later. And I think he's got good takedown defense. Well, I feel like Jairzinho doesn't really have that great a takedown defense. He can get surprised and get taken down, but I feel like if he starts swinging against Daukaus, eventually he's going to catch him. So let me see if I got any bets on this fight or not here. Yeah, so I do got, if I was to bet on this, I should say, what I would tell you is just bet Jairzinho by TKO. And to hedge that, I would bet Daukaus money line, that plus 144 money line. So that's my opinion on that fight, guys. And if you got any other opinions or bets, good luck to you on them. And I guess let's keep moving up this card. This is getting good. All right, next up, guys, they got Jay, the Joker, Perrin, versus Raul, the problem child, Rosas Jr. Hopefully that's right, Raul. I don't know, but anyways, he's a newcomer coming in off the Contender Series, the Problem Child, and Jay Perrin. He's been around, back and forth record a little bit. You know, quality chance. He's got decent all-around fighting, jiu-jitsu, and boxing. And I'm not sure what to say about this one. You know, odds-wise, they got Perrin as a plus 195 and Rosas Jr. at a minus 250. So I'm kind of glad I'm not interested in this fight and not going to bet it. But if you are, you know, good luck. I don't have any advice for you, so I'm not going to spout out up on this one. And somebody else is going to have better thoughts for you on this fight. Alright guys, welcome to the dojo. This is the mixed martial arts story of the week. And this week, this story takes place in the Hawaiian Islands on the island of Oahu. And particularly in the north shore of Oahu, somewhere around Pipeline Beach, maybe just east of Pipeline Beach a little bit. I'm not sure what we were doing out there. We might have been grabbing some grass or something. And it was my second night there. We were probably at a beach somewhere, and we were heading back home to my buddy's place. But first or second night there, and in my buddy's truck, and we were cruising the beach zone. It was like a 35 zone at this point, and on the side of the road, there's like a group of people. We're pulling up, you know, on the road, going by them, but we pull up by them and notice there's another group on the opposing side of them, on the shoulder, and in the middle, there's two guys scrapping, you know. And they're all Hawaiian guys, you could tell, even though it was, you know, fairly dark out at this point. Two Hawaiians, a bunch of Hawaiians in each group, you know. There were very few white people there. I later found out after living there for, you know, a year and a half. They actually knew me and my buddy who had moved down there, you know, specifically the whole fucking North Shore. But anyway, these dudes on the side of the road were just banging, man, Hawaiians, and scrapping. There was no defense. In the 4 or 5 seconds we drove by, you know, I seen 3-4 punches from each guy swinging, trying to knock the other dude out. But and like 2 opposing groups, one on each side, you know, behind their dude. So, you know, my one buddy's dumbass, he wanted my other buddy to pull over, you know, and my buddy's like, oh, fuck no, dude. And it's a good thing, because later we found out, you know, the fucking Hawaiians don't like foreigners of any kind. So anyway, more stories about that in the future, but this just went to show me right away that the Hawaiian mentality, and they're on their own island, their own place, you know, and they scrap over anything toe to toe. And it just shows you what UFC fighters like Holloway and other fighters would have in the UFC with their mentality. Hey, quit fucking moving around. And you know, they like to bang, and they've been banging from an early age, so that's what kind of fight they bring to the octagon, and I seen it firsthand, and it's true all the way through. So there you go, guys. That's a story of the week, and you know, more Hawaii stories to come for sure in the future. Oh, okay, guys. Damn, man. Take a deep breath for this one. We got Bryce, Thug Nasty Mitchell versus Ilia, the Killer Topuria. Man. So Topuria is a killer, man. That's right. And
the game plan was simple: come in and take his head off. That was the game plan.
The odds on this one, we got Bryce Mitchell at a plus 121, and Topuria's at a minus 152. It's funny that Bryce is a underdog, even though he's got more wins, undefeated with 15-0 versus the 12-0 of Topuria. But anyway, it's an interesting fight, man. This is going to be a good fight. Thinking about this, you know, Bryce Mitchell has some nice spinning kicks in the first round. Nice kicks, potential knees. Topuria, you know, man, he's just a killer with them strikes. And I feel like Thug Nasty could kind of put the pressure on him in the first round and maybe control him and do some of them kicks, swinging, keeping, you know, Topuria back. But come the second round, Bryce starts to fade a little bit. The cardio starts to kick in. Even if Bryce is controlling him with some grappling, or the grappling, you know, is even, because Topuria is just, you know, an excellent on the ground as well. So, man, I think come like late second round, Topuria is going to have the ability to use them killer strikes and catch Thug Nasty's chin, because Thug Nasty kind of stands like he's going to advance all the time, like he's ready to push forward or run a takedown. You don't know, because he's kind of leaning forward and lead leg heavy like that, or he's aggressive stance, I guess you call it. But with that stance, he leaves his chin there still like he's going to be aggressive, but when he's moving back, when he's tired, it's going to be the perfect spot for Topuria's fucking killer strikes to come through and whack that chin, man. He leaves it hanging and he's tired. It's going to be trouble for Mitchell. So, man, if I was looking at my betting on this one, I'd looked at, since Mitchell's the underdog, you take Topuria by TKO. I mean, I guess he could get the sub too, so let's switch that. Why don't you take Topuria inside the distance, and then you take Thug Nasty just money line at that. And that's how you hedge this fight to make money. And other than that, guys, I got nothing else to say about this one. But other than, I just found out that Topuria's favorite video game was Counter-Strike. And if you've ever played it, you know that it's not like a Call of Duty game where you respawn every fucking 2 seconds. The game is you go out with your short, small team, and if you die, you know, it's up to the rest of your team to finish the mission against the other team. Tactical online play or whatever also. But it's a good mindset to have for Topuria when you're going into the octagon, because it's kill or be killed, just like the video game Counter-Strike. But other than that bullshit, that's all I got to say on this fight, boys. Good luck to you. If you're thinking differently, if you think Bryce is going to be able to tangle him up, good luck to you on that. All right, this next fight's a striker's delight for us. Another striking battle on the pay-per-view card, in my opinion. We got Darren, the Gorilla, Till versus Dricus, Still Knocks, Du Plessis. So let's check the odds on this one first. We got Darren Till's at a plus 150, and Dricus is at a minus 185. Plus 150, minus 185. So Till's the underdog here, and I don't see Till going to any wrestling. He's been working with Hamzat there in the past. So Chimaev's probably beating him up on the ground. But Till's going to stick to his Muay Thai, I think, and try to get in close, use his elbows and knees. And Dricus uses his offense. His striking is, interesting to me. I feel like he does rush attacks, and then he's, calm. And I feel like Till is kind of the same way. He backs up, and they're both pretty defensively sound, but they both attack when they're attacking and then defend when they're attending. They're not both, neither of them are either extreme counter-strikers. So it's interesting to say what would happen here. I feel like it might just go to decision. Or I feel like, Till, I'm kind of leaning towards Till in this fight. If he's still hot on his feet, he can use his fakes and feints and pick apart Du Plessis. Or what's going to happen is Till's going to get tired, and Still Knocks is going to knock him out late in the game, because he just used one of them rush attacks, and if Till's too slow to get out of the way, that could happen. Or like I said, I think Till could pick him apart here and win decision. So I just think, if anything, this fight goes to decision. But that's all I got to say about this one, guys. Good luck if you're betting on it, or you got any other feelings on this fight.
Hello?
Hello, look, my dog's just had like a sloppy shit outside. I was just wondering if you got some water. I don't want to leave it outside.
Okay, guys. Next up, we got Paddy, the Baddie, Pimblett versus Jared, Flash, Gordon. So we'll have my producer roll some tape on a little bit of Paddy the Baddie chants from the audience, please. Okay, guys, welcome back from that. And just to get you jacked up there, we needed that. So we were looking at Paddy the Baddie here like a few weeks ago. I was looking at him. He was at a minus 190. And then seen my producer for Thanksgiving, and he was at a minus 200. And I'm like, okay, well, let's lock in on him. So we locked in a bet on Baddie then at minus 200. And now let's check the odds here on this. We got Pimblett right now is at a minus 250. And Gordon's at a plus 200. So that's cool. We got locked in. I thought I was telling my producer the odds were going to be like minus 350 by the fight time, so I could be high there, but we'll see. He's at minus 250 already, so I'm glad we locked that in at minus 200. That's good. And coming into this one, I'm seeing, like, I like Paddy. I feel like his toughest fight was Luigi Vendramini in his first fight. You know, I feel like he was the most skilled person he's fought now. Gordon's tough, seasoned, and got some experience, so he could make it the distance of the fight. Paddy might not be able to put him away, but I feel like Paddy's going to win this one. I feel like Paddy's skills are just as good, if not better, getting better, still learning. Paddy has fought a couple guys now. He's worked his way into the UFC, and he's super funny and goof off outside of the cage, but something I've noticed about him now is that every time he gets in the cage and it's really close to the fight time, he gets serious and he realizes he's in a fight, and the guy takes the fucking fight super serious when he's in there. And when he's outside the cage, he doesn't take anything serious. He's all or none kind of that way. So that's good, in my opinion, for when he's in the octagon. I feel like he really has that all-in mentality. And, you know, when he gets hit, he wants to hit somebody harder. He doesn't have any give in him. You know, he's coming from Bisping's area, so maybe he's ready to lose an eye for a UFC belt, but we'll see. I think he's going to beat Gordon, though. Gordon looks okay. Could give Paddy a fight. But that's my breakdown on this one, guys, and I'm excited to see Paddy hop up in there again. Well, main event of the evening. We had a dank-ass main event with Yuri versus Glover and a rematch. So now we got to settle for Jan, the Polish power, Błachowicz, versus Magomed Ankalaev. Well, did some tape on these guys, a little bit. But earlier in the card, we had Dalcha Lungiambula fighting Magomed. Previously, not sure how long ago that was, but Magomed got cracked by him in the first round with the big right hand that Dalcha, went and leaned into, came swinging with. So, Jan likes to swing, and Jan has his sequence of punches that he does. Like he has his, combinations that he has in his muscle memory is very good for them, and I feel like he's going to use those attacks in the first, throughout the fight. But I think for the first 2 or 3 rounds, those will be effective, and he could crack Magomed and TKO Magomed maybe. And if that doesn't happen, I feel like Magomed's going to be able to easily get the read on Jan and figure out what his muscle memory attacks are and where they come from and what his tells are and before he swings. And Magomed's going to be able to counter-strike or pick apart Jan and avoid his punches after the first, second round, maybe third round. So with the odds on this one, I see that Jan is at a plus 200 and Magomed's at a minus 265. So if you were to bet Jan in the first 3 rounds or just inside the distance, even be a good bet. But Magomed, maybe just money line to hedge what you bet on Jan there would be great. And I think that would be an okay bet to make. But I don't have any action on this one at the moment, guys, and I won't be making any bets as far as I know. So if you do, good luck to you, and let's enjoy what we got for a main event anyways. It should be a good fight, though. Okay, guys, well, this week's bets, man, crazy. I got a whole page of them, so I'm not sure what's going on this week, but my favorite bets here, I'll start with them. I got Shahbazyan by TKO in the first 1.5 rounds, and I got that hedged with the champion Dalcha, just money line. I think that's a good bet because the odds there show Dalcha at a plus 245 money line. And we don't have the odds up for Edmen getting that finish in the first round and a half, but those would be good. And the next bet I got is, that's really the bet I'm most confident in. And the parlay I'd say is Paddy the Batty and Billy Q. And then the other parlay I'd do Shahbazyan by TKO and Paddy the Batty in there. And then, you could take Saaiman by moneyline, even though, those are not good odds for him moneyline, but you hedge that with that Steven guy by submission. That's got to be good odds. because he's a Koslow. Steven is plus 225 money line. So, man, I just see all these bets like happening or something else happening. I think we should just bet on all of them. I'm gonna have my producer put these bets up there, but it's gonna be a bunch of bets with hedges. It's Topuria by TKO, hedge that with Bryce on the money line. Billy Q versus Hernandez. This fight goes the distance. Jairzinho by TKO, hedge that with Daukaus money line. Then I got Antonio submission, and hedge that with OSP money line. My producer's favorite bet of the week is the draw. We got Billy Q versus Alex Hernandez. And then my producer's crazy bet of the week, besides all those other damn crazy bets I just made, his parlay is Paddy the Batty. Billy Q versus Alex Hernandez goes the distance. Topuria by TKO. Jairzinho by TKO. And Billy Q in that parlay. Just trying to win him like $700 some there. So hopefully that pulls through. And good luck on your bets this week, guys. I'm going crazy because I just want to experience here and see what happens. Test it out. And if we can predict these fights pretty good, I mean, we should be able to make money on at least one of these, and that would substitute the rest of those bets we hedged. So we'll see what happens, and good luck to you guys on all your bets, and I'll talk to you next week. All right, till next week, guys. Life before death, strength before weakness, journey before destination. Keep it real.